She's stalking y'all, so be careful.
I do. I stalk y'all, especially if we've talked and we want to be friends. I'm stalking people in the best way because I want in real life connections. I love hanging out. I love hanging out by the fire, playing card games.
Charcuterie boards.
I love charcuterie boards. Yeah.
What up, y'all? Today's episode of the RV Voice is brought to you by RV Fix. And let me tell you, if you've ever found yourself stranded with an RV issue miles from the nearest service center, you know how frustrating that can be. Well, that's where RV Fix comes in. Imagine having a master RV tech right in your pocket. Yeah, you heard that right. With RV Fix, all it takes is a quick phone call and boom, you're connected via video call with an expert who can guide you through fixing your issue, saving you both time and money. Then here's the kicker. Try RV Fix risk-free with a 14-day free trial. You'll need to enter your card number just like most subscriptions, but don't worry, you won't be charged until after the trial ends. If you decide to continue, please use the code RVVoice at checkout. This really helps support the RV Voice and keeps us going strong, and we really appreciate it. Seriously, guys, this is a game changer. Stay on the road and keep your RV in tip-top shape with RV Fix. Learn more at rvfix.com. Alrighty, welcome to another episode of the RV Voice. We have another full-time guest here. It seems like I'm doing nothing but full-time, but that's okay. It's probably my favorite thing to talk to. So, anyway, these people have been on the road for 7 years, and they're now in a 2023 Keystone Avalanche. I've not seen one of these in a while, and I actually really like them. So, it'd be sweet to see one of those. They have 2 kids. They got 1 fur baby, and, like I said, 7 years, but apparently there's some little more mix-up than that. Someone said 20 years or something like that. We're going to have to ask them exactly what that is. But it's Andy and Joey with the Nuclear Nomads. And they'll tell you why they're called the Nuclear Nomads. So welcome guys. Thanks you for being here. Thank you. This is your time, not mine. This is what I do for a living. So
we're honored to be on. We've never done national TV before.
National TV. I could push live if you really want to.
No, please don't.
Oh gosh. All right. So Andy and Joey, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. You guys have been on the road for 7 years, but you did say something else, and we'll just kind of go into the personal journey of how you got into full-time RV life, right? So what inspired you to get into full-time RV life? What was your background? Because when you said, Andy, you said something about 20 years or something like that before this call or before we pressed recording. So I want to hear more about that. But yeah, just to start with that, how did it all happen? What inspired you to go full time and share your story of how it all got started?
So
2012 is when we got on the road.
Yeah, is when we got on the road. I've never had a home base. My dad was infantry, Marine Corps, so I've always traveled. And then I met my husband when I was 17, and then 3 years later, he got an opportunity to do nuclear work. He has been a welder his whole career straight from high school. And how did that start off?
So I was in my junior year of high school, and I was, coming up on senior year, and I had to figure out what I was going to do. So to get out of high school for a class, I went over to the community college and took a welding class, and I just kind of fell in love with it. So
he was welding in the shop, and then who he was working for opened up a nuclear division as contractors to go to different power plants. And he had only been as far north as DC. We're from North Carolina. He's only been to DC and then to Myrtle Beach for vacations until he was 21. And then now they shoot him across the country or up the East Coast to New Hampshire. Was his first time leaving that bubble. So it was really cool to watch the whole thing unfold. And so we've lived in Airbnbs, hotels, whatever we could find fully furnished up until we started having kids. And I was like, I need my own space.
Yeah. So when you said I need your own space, is that when you kind of made the switch to RVs?
Yes.
Yeah, because we wanted our daughter to have her own
home, her own home away from home.
Yeah, her own bed. Everywhere she went, she at least had her own bed. And I feel like that's been really good for our family.
Awesome. So 2012, what happened? That was when you went to college?
No, that's when I started working on the road. That's when I got my first job working nuclear. So okay. I wasn't a fabrication shop, but up until that point.
Okay. So I graduated high school in 2012. So I'm trying to age you.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Yeah, I graduated in 2006.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. So But you said, Andy, beforehand, like you said something about on and off the road for 20 years. Is that 2006 was the starting point, or?
No, 2012 is what we were saying.
Oh, okay.
We started traveling together in 2012 when he got his first nuclear assignment.
Okay. All right. And what was you were B&Bing, and then you ended up doing the RV life within that, in the midst of it.
In 2018, we decided we needed our own space, and we got a camper.
Oh, my goodness. What was the first camper?
Oh, we loved it. It was a Forest River Heritage Glen 356 QB, and the bunk room had opposing slides. It was perfect but the kitchen space was awful. And then, we had it for a long time, and it was just time for a new one. And we had a second kid, and we outgrew our old one. So we got this camper we're in last year. It's a 390 DS. So we have 2 suites, and then the loft is, you can see it like right there. It's tall enough he can sit up in it. So that's where our daughter.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's nice.
We love our rig, but we actually are on the market for a toy hauler because I don't want to carry the golf cart anymore, and it's just a bigger play space for the kids. So we're loosely toy hauler shopping if we can sell this.
So she said she doesn't want to carry the golf cart anymore. She pulls a 5x9 trailer behind our minivan. So we carry 2 vehicles with us wherever we go. So we want to continue bringing the golf cart, but she doesn't want to pull it behind her van anymore.
Okay, so you're going to keep the van though?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Until I can get a seat.
Oh, so you're gonna put the golf cart in the toy hauler.
That's right.
So you keep that as a bedroom though, or no?
Oh yeah. So we'll do that. We'll lay down a nice carpet and make it cute for the kids and everything. And the specific one we have our eye on is the XLR 41G14, and we like it because the loft is in the garage. Her loft, I don't know if you can tell, faces out into the kitchen, so we can't have like couples movie night because like she's watching, when we're trying to watch
whatever,
something with Denzel Washington in it or Keanu Reeves.
Not super kid friendly.
Not 10-year-old little girl friendly. So anyway, that's we're in the lull with that right now.
Okay, so an XLR had the boost, right? Is that what you're looking at?
Nitro.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's just a 5th wheel difference, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I've been out of the game actually a little bit, and it was kind of weird going down to Tampa. I mean, I got lost in the show. Literally, I got lost. It's so big. I didn't expect that. And we were luckily we were just in building A, like in a booth, and I wasn't doing the whole RV sales part, which is holy crap. I used to beg to not go to the shows. I'm like, please don't send me. I don't want to go because I've been dead for 2 weeks and like I'm just like morality just drained.
Yeah. So, are you going to go to the Hershey show in September? That one's a little bit more organized, less busy. That one's my favorite. I like that one. There's a lot of mingling and meeting, but also you can get in and out of the RVs better. I like that one better. Which one did you like better? Pennsylvania or Florida?
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I could see us being there for sure with RV Fix. I doubt it. Well, we can't go as a dealer. The reason being is because we don't have a dealership in Pennsylvania. PTA. So what RV Fix, since we're nationwide, there's a good chance we'll be there. I know we were supposed to go this last year and we did not go. So interesting.
We would have said yes. We went.
Awesome. So how did you get your first RV? I mean, you just kind of picked it?
Well, we knew we wanted that. We had like a laundry list. We had to have 2 bathrooms, an outdoor kitchen. It needed to have a big kid's bedroom. And I think that was it. But then after we were in it for a while, I was like, dang, I need a kitchen island. Because we're pretty clean and I like to cook everything from home. And he thinks I'm being dramatic when I say this, but my counter space was like
2 foot wide.
It was so tiny. Like my Instant Pot filled it up and I was going crazy. Like, so, we hopped in campers. We probably would have never even thought to do it until his coworkers who also traveled with their kids were in campers. And I was like, we can do that. So then I started kind of seeing what I thought we needed when really I was a little bit more bougie than I thought. So I needed more.
Well, you got to have, it's a different lifestyle, right? from going from, I'm guessing you were B&B in a little bit, you're hopping around. But you had the regular lifestyle of the 9 to 5 normie life, right? Or whatever, the sticks and bricks is what they call it in the RV world. Sometimes it's offensive to me because I still live in it, but whatever.
I always wonder about that because we still have our house. We're renting it out right now. So we're truly boundless. Like if we have somewhere to fall back on. So I always think that might be a little, I try to watch what I say because it's whatever everyone prefers. If you prefer that lifestyle, that's amazing for you. This is where how he's able to, let us see the country and also pay the bills. So
interesting. Yeah. You'd be the first to talk that I've talked to that still has a home.
Yeah.
I mean, you're renting it out. You're making it an asset that actually pays for itself. Right. So
correct. Yeah.
That's cool. Like a lot of people just sell, cash it on the difference, whatever they made on the equity, and they buy what you're doing now. So interesting. That's the first time. Yeah.
We just got our first friend this Sunday, so we're brand new. Like for 7 years, it was our personal Airbnb. We would just kind of retreat to it and had all of our personal stuff in it. So he was laid off for like 2.5 months. So we were home for all of August, most of October. Then he was like, around Thanksgiving, he's like, "Do you want to rent our house out?" And I looked at the calendar. I'm like, "Dang, we have to be in New Jersey early January. Can we make this happen?" So we spent all of the rest of November and all of December just getting rid of everything. So this new venture is pretty new to us, but we're going to use the money from that to save and put in its own account. And then like maybe in 2 or 3 years, buy something else to rent out too.
Hopefully.
That's the plan.
I like this. You guys are real estate ventures as well. This is cool. I like this. You guys are like my type of people. I would love to buy a house for like where I'm at right now in Boise. It's like, if I don't put 80 grand down, I'm not going to be in the hole. Like I'm going to be strapped to that thing. And I'm like, I don't just have 80 grand to throw at a house. So definitely. Renting right now makes the most sense for me, but I'd love to do that as in like buy, rent, and then, equity comes up, use that, buy, rent, same thing. Real estate's made the most millionaires, right? It's proven fact. But at least that's the plan, right? But it's really hard to even get into that nowadays. That's why I think full-time RV life is, it's going to be, it's growing already, right? And I think it's only going to grow from here on out. But so you got into your first RV kind of just on a whim. It sounds like you wanted to have, your daughter at the time, you wanted her to have her own space, her own room. But it wasn't really a whole lot of major planning behind it.
No, we just kind of jumped in head first.
We had never, he's towed trailers. He's a guy's guy. So he does all that kind of stuff. So he's towed trailers before, but we've never, either of us have only ever been in a camper like one other time.
That's right.
So we've never owned one, and we just went and bought this fifth wheel, and he didn't even have a truck to pull it with. We actually paid companies to move it the first
2 jobs.
The first job. Because the first 2 jobs, yeah. We were in South Carolina. We're actually in this neighborhood where we're at now when he bought his first truck that could tow it. So we just kind of went in. So here's the thing. If you plan it out and try to wait till the perfect time, and it's probably not going to happen. So if you can afford it, just go in messy and do it. Right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not a financial advisor, so.
I'm just you can do it. Like if money isn't a thing, don't think too hard into it. Just do it. But I'm also like, he's the grounder and I'm the free spirit. When I'm just like, let's just spend it all. It'll all come into play.
Can't take it with you.
We got to eat next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, preparation and planning, I guess there's no real steps that you took.
Yeah,
you kind of just baptism by fire. Let's go for it. Give her hell. Right. All right. Well, I guess we might have to skip that part, but how about this? So within the preparation and planning, I kind of asked that. It was kind of on a whim, on a wing, like I'm going. But what advice would you give someone choosing their first RV, period? Whether it be for full time, you could say whatever that way, or you could say just an RV to have an RV for a family.
So
what advice?
This can go for both of them. Like whatever you're using in your house that you absolutely love and you think you would miss, see if you can't get it in an RV, like kitchen counter space. I didn't think that one through. Also, like, how is your family dynamic? Do you need 2 toilets? Because like a lot of people think I have to have 2 bathrooms. And then you get into, you're like, we really could have gotten by with 1. So it's just really paying attention to how you're living now and then apply it into what you're looking for in your vacation home or home on wheels. Wouldn't you say?
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely need 2 toilets.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if this toy hauler doesn't have a second commode. I mean, like, we can always just park close to a bathhouse. I'm just kidding.
No, so you get the man. Yeah, I know where you'd end up. Yeah, that's not fair. Why is it always us? We get kicked out.
Yeah, we can stand, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes total sense. Like, there's for you guys, for a family. I mean, have you ever, Naomi and Barry with A Little While Off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they started in a Winnebago, a 7-foot wide Winnebago that was 20 foot long, and they had 4 kids with them, and they had a Ford Flex. Yeah. So, like, I mean, it's like the advice is different, right? Like, you can do it basically however which way you want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you guys actually, the way you said that is like, if you can't live without it, make sure you have it when you get in it.
Yeah.
Because, the catch and counter space, that one's something that people, when they get into the RV space, it's kind of over their head. They just don't even think about it. And then they start using it. Practicality is not there. But if you think about it going into it, there's plenty of RVs that have the counter space or have the necessities that you need. Some of these things are nicer than most houses. Brinkley's right now, nicer than most places. Yeah, and some of the Grand Design stuff coming out, nicer than most places. Some of the Alliance stuff, nicer than most places. Yep. It's just, they can make it work, but it's just like, having extra counter space is always a problem because there's all sorts of other stuff in there.
So another thing, there's like, you could do outdoorsy or RV share or I feel like some dealerships might even rent, go rent a travel trailer, go rent whatever you need to rent. You can have, there's different setups. Like, you can go pick up the trailer, or if the owner says, no, I'll meet you here and I can set it up for you and I can walk you through it. And that way you're not like, you don't have to dive into something. And I feel like if we would have known better, I feel like we probably would have rented a couple, wouldn't you say?
I'm not sure. I think I still would have jumped in head first.
Yeah. We tell all of our friends now to rent just to kind of get an idea for it. My dad wants a camper. My stepmom, she sees the kind of mess we go through. You have to here's another thing. If you're considering RV life, you have to be fluid. You can't be a control freak. You can't get upset if things break because they're going through earthquakes every time they get on the highway. So things are going to break and fall apart. And you have to understand that and just be willing to go with the flow. Even though when you're in the moment, it's very disheartening and it can be a little stressful. Our camper was just in the shop for 2.5 months, but we were fixing up our house. So it wasn't a deal to us. We didn't have to find somewhere to stay. So you have to be kind of like a free spirit somewhat to do RV life. Wouldn't you agree with that? You can't, things are going to happen.
Most definitely. Then you nailed it on the head there. Every time I sold an RV, said it's not if, it's when. It's going to have issues for sure. Absolutely. Earthquakes or hurricane force speeds. It's going to happen. It's just how it is. You put your house on wheels, it ain't going to last 10 miles. Yeah. These things, they're shaking, rock and rolling all the time. It's just something that's it's a normal thing. And I had to beat that into their heads. You need to know this is going to be an issue.
Yeah, that's honorable of you because a lot of them don't. Oh, this thing is built to last forever is what we've walked into a few times, which is, everyone has a different style. But we always say this too. And I know a lot of people disagree with this, but we are for extended warranties. When those people when you're sitting down signing the paper, he's like, what else do you have? Give me a bigger package because our butts have been saved a couple of times with extended warranties. So when you go to sign the papers, don't blow off the salesperson when they're trying to offer you an extended warranty because we can say it for ourselves. It's saved us money already.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's always a worry, right? I mean, for my vehicle, I have a Jeep. I haven't touched my extended warranty and, I haven't, but I always buy one because you never know. You could get with the robot might have skipped a beat that day.
That's right. Yeah.
But these things, RVs are made by hand, not robotics. So, I mean, there's a lot more mistakes at hand. I mean, people are flying through them. They do one job. Literally one guy on the line does one job all day long. So it gets really fast. And when you get really fast, mistakes happen. Just how it is. Doesn't matter. There's other companies that have I guess, better quality control, but it's still going to happen when it's handmade.
Certainly.
So when we get off here,
cool.
do you mind sharing who the quality control companies are? Because we're on the market. We would like to know that, wouldn't you say?
The really good ones? Yeah. It's usually the bigger names, right? So you have, I don't want to point names, but like Brinkley is wonderful. Alliance does a really good job. Flagstaff, Rockwood, you can't go wrong with those. What was the other one? Jayco has a they have a pretty extensive one. Wow. But those are like all the big names. I haven't seen every like I haven't been to every facility or manufacturer. Yeah, I haven't been to every single one of them. Those ones I have been to, and you can tell the difference. They take quality control and like what their customer experience is going to be like very seriously. I feel comfortable saying that.
I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's out there to be live now. People are going to hear me. It's going to come back and bite me someday. But anyway, so your daily life was a little different. You guys were hopping around a little bit because of your job. So you guys already had like the nomadic lifestyle, it sounds like. But so what does a typical day, I guess, like look like for you guys? Because you're running around doing nuclear stuff, playing with radioactive stuff. Crazy or not, it scares me. But what does it look like for you guys? How do you manage everyday tasks? Cooking, cleaning, laundry on the road? Do you have your own laundry? You have your own
no
washer, dryer?
No, she takes everything to a laundromat because she can get it done in one day, or 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
You got a week's worth of laundry done.
One time, I don't have to like everyone's different. I don't mind laundromats, and I really like being able to get everything washed, dried, folded, and put up in 4 hours for the whole week for all 4 of us, and then our linens. And then also a lot of times we kind of got off schedule with this, but he would keep the kids while I went and did it myself, and I'd go get a coffee and just like breathe, and it was nice. And our daily schedule is really, I think, very similar to as if we were at home at our Sticks and Bricks, because we travel for his work. We're not in Thousand Trails hopping around hanging out. It kind of gets lonely. That's why I actually started social media. And so I wake up. He wakes up before me. He gets up at like 3 or 4 to go to the gym.
3 to 4.
Yeah. He goes to the gym, goes to work, comes home, gets a shower, food's ready, eats, hangs out, plays with the kids. And then in the meantime, like while he's at work, breakfast, homeschool. And then we try to do 2 or 3 times a week an active or an educational activity with the kids just to get them out and socialized. Okay.
So what challenge? I mean, that's 3 or 4 in the morning, dude. That's early for one.
Yeah, he's dedicated.
What time do you go to bed?
Typically around 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can make it happen at 3.
Between 8 and 9, I'm in the bed.
Yeah, I'll stay up.
4:30.
What's that?
Go ahead. I said 4:30 is like that's it. If I make it to bed by 8:30, that's like I can do 4:30, but I need 7.5. Like I can function on 7. I used to be a lot better at it. I played college ball and I was like 6 hours, like no big deal. I got it. No, I could function at very high capacity.
Yeah, I think nowadays 6 hours is like where I function at best. Yeah.
6?
Anything past that, really? I don't know. I don't get very good rest, and I wake up sore, tired. So, yeah,
too much.
Everybody's
different.
Yeah, he's a mover too, though. Like there's never like. We're not ever just watching TV. We actually don't. We watch a movie maybe once a month. Like, other than that, we're like, let's go do something. Let's go see something. Let me fix this in the camper. Hey, you wanted that door on her loft? Let me build you a door. Like even though we're on the road, he's got all his tools. He's building stuff. He's fixing stuff. So it's like a body in motion stays in motion. And that's right. True.
It's hard to stop sometimes. Yeah. I mean, I got here yesterday and I was still yabbering like I was at the show. I'm like, I got to chill. My mouth still keeps yapping. Like, I mean, when you're talking to so many people, you can't help
stuck in that social high.
Yeah. So what are some of the biggest challenges you had? I mean, it sounds like you guys kind of fit into it quite simply because of your nomadic lifestyle with Airbnbs. But I mean, what challenges have you seen while living in an RV? Because it's a little different. And how did you overcome
Some of the biggest challenges is when we're in more remote places, finding friends for our children to play with is probably one of my biggest
Yes.
complaints.
So in I I would say our biggest challenge today would, if we didn't already have our house that we were getting ready to rent, we were just staying in our house, having the camper in the shop for 2.5 months. And I will say Keystone and our dealer, TAC RV Center in Moyock, everything they did in the time they did it, it went all without a hitch. It just, there was whatever was wrong with it was enough. That's how long I had to stay there. So they didn't keep it over time. I didn't want it to sound like I'm being negative, but that would have been our biggest hitch, but it just fell into place where it didn't make a difference to us because our house is 2.5 hours from where our camper was. So, cold weather, like some of his jobs, we were in Nebraska for a year and we were, negative 18 degrees. So he would take PVC pipes, like bigger PVC pipes, and put our hoses through it, and then put like our sewage hoses and put heat tape through the PVC pipe to prevent like the poopsicle. And like he made a skirting system. So like wintering in the camper is a big struggle if you're going to be in negative degrees. But we were just in New Jersey for 2 weeks and it got down into the teens. We didn't skirt. We had a heated hose. That's it. And we didn't have any issues. Thank you, God.
Thank God, yeah. It's literally in the negatives right now in Nebraska. I woke up to like 4 messages from home. Negative 13. And it feels like negative 20.
Not good.
No, it's not fun either because we've got like in our camper, we had thick ice building up on the inside of our windows. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
Yeah, when it was in the negatives in Nebraska. But the snow was pretty though. We were actually across the river in the Missouri Valley, Iowa. There's like this nature center. We were right across the street from that. So we would just like drive out there and see all the snow. It was really pretty.
Yeah. It's there's we get a lot of flack for being a flyover state, right? Just being in Nebraska. It's not bad. It's really a pretty good spot to be. I'm telling you.
People are so freaking nice. We've made some really good people there. Made some really good friends with people there.
Yeah, lifetime.
Yeah. And then they had Runza too. I like Runza, and their ranch is so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best. It's so good. It's drinkable. Did you ever make it to Amigos?
No. Yeah, I didn't hear about that one.
Amigos King's Classic. So Amigos actually makes their ranch every day in like a 5-gallon bucket. They just pour water and it's just a powder.
Oh wow.
And they had to stir it up in the back. It's drinkable. It's that good.
Yeah. I've never heard of that. I hate that we didn't know because we're ranch connoisseurs. We're snobby with our ranch.
That's good. Good. You'd fit right in Nebraska. Did you ever make it to Temperature Tuesday then?
Yeah.
Runza? Yeah. Oh yeah. Negative cents. Yeah. Negative cents. So it's like negative 15. You get 15 cents off your whole order. Heck yeah. Why not? Or like less than that.
That was cool.
Awesome. Okay, where was I at? So maintenance wise, I'm guessing, Joey, since you're a handy guy, you're a welder and you work in nuclear power plants, stuff like that, you handle most of the maintenance.
I do, unfortunately. So we've been in a camper for 7 years and we actually just called our first RV tech out. And it's because our heat pump had went out. So our furnace, I guess in the house it's a heat pump. So our furnace went out and I'd already tried messing with a sail switch and that's about as far as I knew what to do to it. So we called an RV tech out, and he messed with it for 4 days.
Yeah, he was so good.
4 days. Yeah, he ended up having to replace the entire unit. So.
Oh shoot!
Yeah. So here's the thing, too, though. So he replaced the sail switch, the motherboard, and the igniter prongs. He adjusted those. That didn't work. So then he replaced it. That didn't work. So he just gave us a new unit because the company who our furnace is made by has a 2-year warranty, but they wouldn't honor it even though he replaced all that stuff and it still wasn't working. And they wouldn't honor it. So then this is the one thing though, because they wouldn't honor it, the extended warranty wouldn't honor it either. So this guy was amazing. He was just like, hey, I'll take your unit, I'll rebuild it, let's just swap and call it even. And he blessed us in that way because we were cold without it.
Yeah, he definitely went above and beyond what he had to do.
Venture on mobile RV repair in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He took care of us.
Plug it in.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have socials. He's just that he doesn't have socials, but he's a good guy.
That's awesome. Good for you guys because that's a real problem. We just had a guy. So another person that I had on the podcast recently and earlier January. It's Jack and Morgan with Mac on the Road. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're on TikTok. They're a younger couple. They're probably late 20s, mid to late 20s, 26, 27, 28-ish, whatever. anyway, they're in Park City right now. They wanted to be snowboarders, basically. They just wanted to go, and they just work remotely and go snowboarding every day, which is awesome for them. But their furnace went out through one of the blades, and it just literally just, it's completely shut down. And it was like negative degrees in Park City where they were. So I had to get them connected with one of our teams upstairs. So, but same idea, we got them taken care of. We got the part and should be able to work by the end of the day. But that's cold. That's damn cold, and that's no fun. Since you've been on the road for a while, how's like shipping and packaging look like? Do you guys use the Amazon boxes? Do you ship them to where you're at the campgrounds, or what do you do?
So since we are not Thousand Trails people like a lot of RVers are, we don't have any drama with having packages shipped directly to us. Now, I will say before we started renting our house out, well, I wasn't thinking, but it's true. Like if some of them allow you to receive packages, and then some charge you $5 per package, and some don't allow you to get any at all. So it is hard for RVers to kind of do the logistics of where there's going to be our Amazon place. But we're never near 1,000 Trails. We do use the yearly membership, but we don't have to do packages because we're just like, we're camping then. We're like being true campers, not RVers in a sense. But we were having all of our mail sent to our house, and then a family member would just go pick it up and mail everything to us after they sifted through the junk mail. Well, now we're trying to figure out how this is going to work with our renter in. So we're doing, we're going to get a P.O. box here, and then hopefully he'll just do return to sender, and then the mail will work out the tweaks. Yeah, we're here for 6 months too, though, and then our next spot is 6 months. So it'll be easier. Like we don't struggle with mail like a lot of folks do. But I know there's like Roam America and Escapees and stuff that people use, but we haven't had to use any of those services.
Say Roam America and Escapees. I've heard of Escapees. I've never heard of a Roam America.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's called Roam America, but I have to get fact checked a lot. But I know Escapees does it, and I think it's Roam America, something like that. There's actually like 4 or 5. If you just do a Google, if somebody's worried about mail, if you just do a Google Nomadic mail services, Google's going to show you like 4 or 5 different companies that do it. There's a lot out there, but Escapees is the most popular. But also with RVers, a lot of us like to pinch pennies because, like if you're trying to be freelancers and everything you do, you're trying to pinch pennies. Escapees is a membership. I do know that part, like a paid subscription type deal. So we just ask our family pretty please to send us ours.
Please, oh please, I need help. Oh, awesome. Well, yeah, I just always wondered how that works because you still need stuff, right? Amazon's still a thing. Yeah. You got to have things. Like there's certain things, like especially for – do you guys do non-perishables at all through Amazon by chance?
No, we do.
I've thought about doing that myself. I have not pulled that trigger yet. So I'm curious if it's cheaper or not. But
I haven't even looked into it. You're talking about with the Whole Foods collaboration they do?
Nah, I don't even know if they do that, to be honest with you. I'm just thought about buying Cholula versus going to Costco. I wonder if it'd be cheaper, or like noodles or rice, like anything that's like non-perishable, right? I don't buy like canned food, but I think it'd be good for stuff like that. Maybe I just never pulled the trigger. So
here's what we do instead of like ordering our food online. I am a Walmart Plus member, and I know a lot of people turn their nose up to Walmart, but that is my jam. I can have it sent to my door, or I can go pop my little minivan door open, and then they just shove everything in there, and I can just shop online. And then with having 2 kids. Our kids are free-spirited, so when I'm going to the grocery store by myself, I forget things or I just shove stuff in the cart and I spend too much money. So Walmart Plus has saved us a lot of time and money, and I can just do it from my phone. So that's how we do it. Or, we try to do, what do you call them? Farmers markets too, of course, in different areas. Yep. But sometimes we're in a really desolate area that doesn't have any markets or anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've heard of Walmart Plus before, but I didn't know you could. I know you had like people can like bag it, but I didn't know if you had to go pick it up or they ship it to you or whatever. No. I go to Walmart too, just because I can buy 60 eggs at a time for cheaper. Even though eggs have gone up a lot lately. You need to figure that out. It's like I can buy like 90 eggs typically for less than $20. Now it's $20 for 60. That's a problem.
So we typically do pasture raised organic chickens, like what is it? Vital Farms, Nellie's. I know Vital Farms was just under fire recently, but they proved that it was like not true. Anyway, so we do that kind of stuff, and it was like $6 or $7 for a dozen, and now just like the cheap store brand is almost $6 for a dozen for like the not just the caged poor little hens. It's terrible. The eggs have gone up a lot, and we eat a lot of eggs. Yeah.
Same. I buy 90 every 2 weeks.
We're in an area now. I feel like there's a lot of more farms around, like more. There's like a lot of Latino farms around that we could probably go get some really good happy hen eggs from. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Down there in Fort Pierce.
The real golden.
That's right.
Golden yolks.
Orange.
That's the way I grew up in rural Nebraska, so we had chickens a lot too. And I actually got sick of eggs. I used to eat 24 eggs a day when I was playing college ball. I mean, I was trying to get beefy, right? I got to 245. I'm 200 pounds now, but I was playing defensive end at the time. So I needed as much as I could get. I was eating 18 egg whites and a pound of chicken and a pound of steak a day. But I was putting it on. I was no joke. My body needed it for recovery at the time. But there's nothing better than farm fresh eggs. The golden yolk, the orange yolk. And we're talking about RVs.
Oh yeah, I was getting ready to go down that rabbit hole of turmeric. They make them look prettier.
I do a little cayenne pepper, actually, just do a little bit of it, or like smoked paprika. If you do smoked paprika, it's almost like it came off the barbecue pit, and it's an egg. Oh, wow. It's fantastic. I put garlic on it too. Yeah, garlic, salt, always salt and pepper, salt and pepper, red pepper flakes, a little bit of smoked paprika. Not a lot. You don't need a lot because it's pretty tough.
This on fried eggs?
I do over easy typically.
Well, I like
yeah. Cool.
So you can use it if you want. The garlic, Lowry's garlic too. Lowry's garlic salt.
So we'll tag you when we try it and let you know what we think.
Please do, because it is absolutely wonderful. But all right, so you got 2 kiddos now. You are on the road full time, homeschooling.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that a little bit. How do you handle it? Do you catch? I also want to know, do you catch a little bit of hate for homeschooling? Because that's kind of a thing right now in the industry. I don't know why. You shouldn't have to explain to anybody what you do for your family and what you think is best for your family. So it's kind of interesting that people your kids are going to be, not great. I think they're going to be in a great position coming out of it, because you guys are traveling all over the U.S., they're getting well more cultured than anybody else sitting in one county every day at the same school with the same people. So I'm just kind of curious how you go about that. Do you feel like your kids are thriving in the education standpoint?
So
anything and everything about homeschooling, I want to know.
So I've been homeschooling since 2018, since our daughter was 3. Initially, I went into it thinking, she was my first and only. She has to be the smartest. She has to know the most. So I would put her in the hardest things. Becca, I was having her in kindergarten at not even 4 yet. And I feel like she is a very smart little girl. And we liked the curriculum of Becca. But then I started doing more research and more studying on like home education and child development. And then I realized kids are really good if you don't even start them till they're about 5, even on the ABCs. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I don't care. So, because right now they need when they're younger, they need to develop, from what I've read, like I'm not an expert by any means, but they need to do their figuring out who they are, figuring out what they like, playing, getting their creativity. And then like once they start showing their own interest in counting, because it's going to come up no matter what, they're going to wonder, what are those? What are you saying? 1, 2, 3. So that's what we're doing with our 3-year-old. Now, I haven't done anything with him. If he wants to, if he shows interest, I'm all on it. But I don't sit down and push it
into him.
No, we make it fun. So there's the difference. Even with our first and our second, she was like, you have to sit down. You have to listen. You have to learn how to write your name before you're 4. Like, I wasn't mean about it. I was gentle and loving. But it was like, in my mind, she had to be the smartest because I was homeschooling. But now that I'm like, I feel like I'm a true homeschool mom, and I've definitely went lax, and we're not going to do a Becca this year. Actually, she's going into the 5th grade and she wants to try Good and the Beautiful. And we've watched some of their free lessons and I like what it is. And she's like, she wanted to watch more, when with the other one, it is a more strict in school setting. Like the kids are, you can see in the class and the kids are sitting at the desk, and she would have to just sit and watch as if she was
in a classroom,
but in her house. So anyway, we're going to do something different this year because I have laxed on it. So comparing, we're from Nash County, North Carolina, and North Carolina in general is one of the lower rated education systems in the country. And then our county where we're in is at the bottom of that totem pole. So where we would be at home if I had to go to work and they had to go to public school, she is higher than that. And I have teachers in our families that tell me that all the time, your kids are smart. And we never get hate from it. I don't talk about it too much online. So I don't get online hate. And then our friends and family, we're pretty vocal on what we believe with education, faith, diet, lifestyle. We're really vocal on what's good for us, but also whatever anyone wants to do with their own family, that's not our business. So I think everyone knew our kids were going to be okay from the get-go, so we never got any hate from it.
Yeah, I truthfully think, I truthfully think that, and I'm, again, opinion, right? There's the public school system. I think it's necessary of some sort, right? I do feel like that they kind of try to almost like not even give you a personality, right? They're just trying to create the 8 to 9 to 5 worker, whoever it is. Yeah. Connecting neurons, yes, math, science. These are important things to know with life. I haven't used algebra since, Yeah. Math was one of my best subjects. Math and science were, it's good to learn these things, test your knowledge and stuff like that. But I felt like it always like kind of took away from my personality or tried to take my creativity away from me. And
go down the rabbit holes.
Obviously, that's what I do.
Don't do it.
I'm a creator.
Yeah, we agree with you 100%. And there's documentaries and stuff. You can, everything you're saying, it sounds like you've probably already seen it, but like the people who are truly in charge of our country's finances, he's nudging me. Anyway, they actually developed the public education system. And one of the founders said what you just said. I don't want smart, creative people. I want workers. So that's what it was founded off of. So you're right. Anyway, I'm being nudged to shut up.
It's okay. It's okay. No, we can move on. We'll move on from it. Question on this now. So you kids are how old are you? You have a daughter and a son, or two daughters?
One just turned 10, and the other one's soon to be 4.
Yeah.
So two daughters.
No, our daughter's she's 10. Our son's 4 in March.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So question for you guys. So I went through a private school system. I went through a Catholic school from K through 12, and then after that, I went to college. And I played football in college at a small school. I wouldn't be me without sports, right? What I went through, I started sports at a young age, started wrestling at a young age, basketball at a young age, football at a young age, and I ran all those sports for the most part. Wrestling, not in high school, but I did everything, baseball, t-ball, whatever it may be. But that's, I grew up in a small town. You knew everybody knew everybody knew nobody's business. But sports-wise, I wouldn't be me without that. So curious for you guys, do you plan to do sports? If so, how do you plan about going about that? Because it's a little different. You can't be like just a part of the school sports team because you're not really in the school system. Now you can be in some places. I've heard, like we're just going to be stationary for the, the soccer season, right? You'll be there for the soccer team, and then after that, we'll move on and do something else. What does that look like for you guys, or do you have any desire to do that with your children?
We do that, actually. There's a lot of gymnastics companies across the country who have homeschool programs where we can go during the weekday, during the day. And so Zoe's done gymnastics probably 4 times now. She's done basketball with Upward, which is a Christian organization, Upward Basketball. She's done soccer with a county. We were in an area long enough that she did the full soccer season with the county. She missed the last 2 games, but was okay with that because of where we were going. She, soccer, t-ball, basketball.
Jiu-jitsu.
Oh, so this is one thing we always really try to do. She's done Muay Thai, MMA, and jiu-jitsu. She's done jiu-jitsu twice, and we're getting ready to put them both because Andre, our 3-year-old, they have a 3 to 5 with Gracie Barra Jiu-Jitsu, which is apparently worldwide. And if you pay your monthly fee at one place, you can go anywhere as many times a week as you want. From the research I've done, don't hold me to it, but we're getting ready to put them in Gracie Barra. So when we go to our next destination, they'll kind of already know the training and the style. So we're excited about that. Our little guy hasn't been in anything yet because, the age, but he loves fighting. He loves putting them in chokeholds. So he's going to do anything.
No, definitely.
Yeah. So
It'd be feisty, yeah.
whatever sports the kids have interest in, we're going to get them into it because we agree it gives so much confidence, and especially the martial arts. I'll be honest, we kind of were like, no, you need to try this. This is good for you. And then now she really likes it. But we did for her first time. She wasn't sure about it until she actually got in there and they got to spar freely and like really go at it. She's like, I love this. So, yeah.
You got a little battle animal. That's what you got.
We got two now. So we're actually going to get them registered for that. I think soccer's coming up here. If she wants to do soccer, she can. I know they don't have anything old enough for our little guy. And because we don't hinder their creativity, he's kind of a loose cannon. So he really probably wouldn't listen to the coaches too well anyway. But if he's fighting, he'd probably like, all right, where do I need to hit next? I need to listen type deal. So.
Yeah. Interesting. So, so you're kind of already all into that.
Yeah.
That sounds like, had no hiccups doing that with gymnastics and mixed martial arts. That's crazy. I could never do that. I mean, I was a fighter on the football field. I got 5 seconds to mess you up, but like I have buddies that did go in the ring and have had several fights. And we were playing cards one night and he hopped he came out of the bathroom. I jumped him. He pinned me against the wall and I quit. I was like, no. I'm not fighting. Stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
The caveat with kids in martial arts, though, we've seen this firsthand. I feel, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like other kids or other people like in your ring want to see what their kids can do. Well, and might egg on something. Or we had a friend one time where she was over hanging out and the little girl got in Zoe's face and scratched her in the face. And, we teach our kids, you can't hurt your friends. So like it shook her to the core, but I feel like there's more violent things that come up with when your kids are in that kind of stuff in real life. And maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it was just a natural thing. But I feel like when people know what your kids are up to, they're going to let their kids be a little bit more ballsy. You know what I'm talking about?
See that,
yeah. But I will say it's come up in life twice where she was able to really, truly defend herself.
And other people.
And another little kid. Like one time we were in a campground and she was picking flowers to a little girl and this little boy walked up point blank with a Nerf gun and shot her in the face from like a very close distance. And she
can mess the weapon ass.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
She did.
Yeah, that's what she did.
And then the moms in the neighborhood, they babied him and they ended up shunning her and not letting her play with them. So we had to move campground so she could have friends. And then another little time we were in one of them indoor playhouses and this bigger kid kept like pushing little kids down and blocking them and getting in their face. So she got tired of it and stuck up for another little kid and beat him up too. We were sitting like right under her thinking, oh my gosh, what is she doing at the time? But after everything was over with it, we were really proud. Yeah.
She's feisty. That's good. Oh yeah.
She's reserved.
She sticks up for what she believes in and
right.
She sticks up for the underdog. She's not feisty. Because
for sure. I think there's an innate nature of like human nature, right? You should what's right and wrong at a very young age. Right. Whether, it's a feeling, right? You just like, okay, this is wrong. So defense, it's good for her. Good for, what's your daughter's name, Zoe? Go Zoe. Yeah. Standing up for kids. That's awesome. You can't just shoot someone in the face with a Nerf gun and not have any repercussions.
We're really big on if they were both playing Nerf and she was shooting and he was shooting and it could have been an accidental thing. But if you're picking flowers like a little sweet little girl and you just get shot, go to town, girl. Yeah.
Get him. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that I'm glad you guys figured out how to do that because I feel like that'd be kind of difficult. It's also a confidence boosting thing, like you said, to step in outside of something like that. I still get nervous. Like I used to get nervous as heck going into like first day of football camp every year, and I knew I was one of the top guys on the team, but like it was made me nervous, right? What's next? What's happening? I literally went to the content creator meetup, which is like I guess my new level of sport right now.
That is that's the sport in its own.
Yeah, it is. We're doing it right now, right? So, but I showed up. I got like all nervous. I was like, man, it feels like I'm going to a football camp or something like that with knowing nobody. And everybody knew me. I mean, not everybody, but a good portion of it knew because of just the shares and socials and stuff like that. So it was really cool. But it's good to have that extra, I guess, exposure. You know, as a kid, you got to have the challenges like that to become a better person or a better version of yourself. So sports are always something I'm very passionate about. So I was wondering how it would work for being on the road and all that. So very cool. Financial aspects. How does it work on the road? So you travel and you do the nuclear power plant stuff, right? So I'm guessing that's a main source of income. But how do you sustain this financially? Because there is other stuff like actually paying for parks, paying for gas, paying for all those things. Are there any specific tips you could offer to someone earning an income on the road? And what budgeting advice would you give someone considering the full-time?
I would say
it's a big question. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yeah,
there.
I would say, first of all, we need some budgeting advice. So y'all reach out to us with any tips and tricks.
Reach out right here. Right here.
No.
Exactly.
Tell them what to do.
As far as financials goes, yeah, we're on the road for financials. He's the breadwinner with his career, and then now we're bringing in income from our rental, and then I, with my content creator, I do some paid partnerships, and we're able to use that for like fun money. So yeah, I'm open to collaborations.
There you go, right there.
So as far as budgeting, we really actually started this year, and we've done a really good job at every single day. Whatever we purchase, we're writing it down. We have a calendar just for what have we done, and it's helped us really kind of hone in on what we're spending, because I like to eat out. Like, it is my favorite thing in the world, and I was kind of conning him into it too. And then we realized this is where most of our money's going. So we're honing into if you don't need it, if it's cute, that shirt is really cute, but honestly, I have one similar in blue. I'm not going to buy it. So other than like the common things, we do need help with budgeting. We were doing the Dave Ramsey snowball method of paying stuff off, and then he had his truck paid off. Our camper was almost paid off. Like, everything was paid off, and then his truck got totaled, and then our first camper was probably totaled. Like, it was bad. So now we're not near being debt free like we were. So
unfortunately,
we were doing good, and now we're just kind of like shiny new object syndrome. Instead of buying used, we bought new, and we should have probably been looking at used things. What do you think?
Well, it's hard to say. Yeah. I mean, you buy something used, you don't know what you're getting into either.
Yeah.
So, at least buying new, you do have warranties. That's kind of the way I was looking at it.
Yeah.
I went into a bunch of issues with our last truck, and it was costing me thousands of dollars every couple months. So, like, turbo went out, that's $6,000, for a dealer to repair it.
He was in it when it was totaled, and he didn't get hurt at all. So I feel like God was like, let me just kill that for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Here's a check. Your next one. Vehicles are a double-edged sword, unfortunately. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You got to have one. And it's I bought new. I had an F-150 before, and I bought that new, but like the company I was working for, it was like a stipend for every month, and I paid a huge chunk of it off. Probably should have kept it, but then I sold it and bought a Gladiator. Loved the thing, but I'm paying for it, and I shouldn't be paying for it. So now I'm trying to go debt free, buy something old. I'm going to go the vintage way. I grew up in old stuff, so I'm like, I got to go back to the old stuff. It's just whatever. I don't drive very far, an hour at a time, maybe tops. So for you guys, it's a little different. You have to have something reliable to get you where you're supposed to go, and you're towing a very big piece of equipment behind you, which is also your home. So it's kind of again, double-edged sword. What do you do? But interesting. They need help with budgeting advice, so you can check them out at Nuclear Nomads on Instagram. Reach out. They would love it if they did. If you did.
We're open-minded people.
But we're trying to get better with our finances.
Yeah. I think we're doing a good job.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
We don't blow money. We don't go buy a bunch of unnecessary items.
We don't care about name brand, all that kind of stuff. We just want quality things, and we don't want to have to work on our stuff, even though we're working on our stuff. Like, his truck is in the shop right now.
Put 8,000 miles on it. So
yeah, it's part of it. But speaking of being in the shop, RV Fix is our internal service platform. It's actually upstairs here in Boise, and they can help you virtually with an RV technician. They can help you through 50% of your problems. And if you want to learn more about that, go to rvfix.com. Okay, I had to do that. It's part of my job.
Well, we will do that because, like we would have, we knew about with the furnace. If we didn't already have the guy coming over, that would have been cool.
Absolutely. We'll talk more about it later. Community and connection. So you said that I'm guessing you've had some sort of sense of community when you started this full-time RV life 7 years ago, and you've become probably more part of it. You have a decent following on your Instagram. Are you guys on TikTok? I couldn't find you.
Just Instagram. I mean, we have a Facebook that I really use to let companies whitelist like ads on. I'm not really on Facebook. Okay. And then I have a YouTube that I'm not good at, but I want to be good at. So
that's a different beast. I'm telling you, I'm trying to build my own. It takes a lot of time, and it's just a different platform. Instagram is it's way more connectivity. It's easier. It's quicker. But anyway, so have you guys found a sense of community in the RV community? If so, how do you do RV rallies, community events, family trails? What's 1,000 trails? What's that family something cross America?
Oh, full-time families. Yeah, we don't do it.
Full-time families. Yeah. Do you do any of that stuff?
So that's why I started our socials. Just February will be 2 years on our Instagram. It was lonely. He was working a lot, and I was home by myself with the kids. And I was like, my sister-in-law, Courtney, she kept saying, you have such a cool life. You need to share that. You need to make your page more, open, because it was just private. I had like 20 friends and family on my Instagram. Anyway, finally, 3 years after she was hounding me to do it, I did it. And then we started making friends. And then I learned about like different events and stuff. So now last year was so humbling and nice. We met so many good people. And then this year, I don't know what happened. I feel like it's getting really cliquey. A lot of creators are posting really bold things. Like, if you don't do this way, go ahead and unfollow me. I'm not interested. I'm seeing a lot of that, and it's really sad because
politics is what she was.
Yeah, politics, or like if you're gonna feed your kids junk in front of my kids, let's not even hang out. My kids don't eat junk. Like, our kids don't eat junk either, but like they can have a Cheeto if your kid's having a Cheeto. So it's very. This is how I am, and I don't want to be your friend. So like this year, it's kind of like losing community, but we have met friends who. There's like 4 people who we keep seeing, and it's 6 families that we really, really love and like keep seeing and hanging out with. So that's really nice, because wherever we're around each other, it's like, hey, I'm going to be in the area. Well, I'm 2.5 hours away. Let's meet halfway, or let me come see you. So that has been amazing and so good for our soul. And he is not, I'm not
a social butterfly.
He's coming out of his shell though. Like these past
You're doing great.
But he's happy if it's just us home. I mean, he gets off work because he has the social interaction at work, whether he likes it or not. Because he's just cool with his family, and I am too. When he's home, like I don't really care to go out, but like during the week and stuff, I'm like, I need a girlfriend, or I need to go hang out with girls, or whatever. And now because I'm on Instagram, I have that. Like, I can call Kestra or any of my friends. So it's just nice.
Kestra, Boundless Bronickes?
Yes, Bronickes. So
but I say
yeah.
No, whatever. No one gets my name right either.
So yeah, the families, we really it just so happens that we're always in the area, except for them. We camped with them a lot last year, but we keep up and talk almost every day. Is James and Kestra, Boundless Bronickes, Nate and Des with Destination, Sam and Travis with Always Take the Detour, Leanne and Joey.
Oh yeah, I saw them.
Yeah, they said say hi, by the way.
No, yeah, hello.
Sam and Travis with Always Take the Detour, and then Leanna and Joey, Simply Scenic, Grim Side of Travel, We Are the Portos. Those are families that we just kind of bounce around and end up being in the same area. So we've become real friends with them, I feel like.
No, definitely.
Y'all better say you're my friends. Just kidding.
Yeah, I woke up this morning to a text message from Phil, actually.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, I did. I met him down there in Tampa. What did he say this morning? It was funny. I'm going to call him out. It made me laugh this morning. He said, "Good morning, bro. I know today's the day, so just checking in on your route. I'm off X place. So seeing where you were where your trip's going, becoming to see if we can best link up. I was like, I'm not sure that was for me. He's like, nope.
Oh.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't for me, pal. He's like, nope.
That is hilarious.
It was. I was like, oh, did I schedule for today? Because we scheduled a podcast for April, and I was like, okay. I was like, my brain's not working right. I'm like, check my schedule. I'm like, no, it was okay, whatever. But
he should have messed with you and be like, yeah, where are you at?
Yeah, where you're supposed to meet up. We talked about it. I was like, I'm pretty sure we didn't. I talked to a lot of people, but all right. Well, cool. So yeah, a lot of good people. I've talked to a couple of those people, and they're awesome. Sam and Travis cracked me up. It's always fun meeting. So I didn't get to meet any of these people until I got down to Tampa,
wow.
and I met a lot of them. And like, it's a different, meeting like this through a screen. I understand it's kind of weird. It's a little different, right? It's no real human connection. So I try my best to make it as cool as possible. But when I met like Sam and Travis, then I met I met quite a few people that I had on. It's like, you have a genuine connection with them immediately. And I feel like the RV community in general, for the most part, is very welcoming, very open, which that's my, I guess, perception of it. Mm-hmm. And it was really cool to see that. I think it's a good place to be. So like the rallies, I would really love to go to courtside. I've heard great things about that. It sounds like it'd be my type of style, depending on which part of the campground you're in. But yeah, so have you guys done any rallies?
No. Nope. No? We're not in any like clubs or anything because like I said, we only do 1,000 trails, like year at a time memberships, and full-time families. It's hard for us because his work schedule dictates where we go. So we're not going to pay for memberships or sign up for things that we don't know where we're going to be on the next job. However, he just started a new company and we know where we're going to be for the full year. So if there's a rally down here in Florida, maybe we'll sign up for it and go to our first rally ever. It'd be cool. If, it's just nice. His new company has us booked out. So maybe we will, but right now we don't have any advice on that. We've done one, but I took the kids by myself. I drove down from North Carolina. It wasn't really a rally. It was a content creator class at Camp Margaritaville, Auburndale. And I don't know if they're going to have it this year, but it's every February. And that was more of like a seminar type thing. And then in the evenings, all the kids got together and played because the grown-ups were now out of class and stuff. But as far as like, what do you call it? A scheduled rally, we haven't done any of that.
Yeah, I'm typically on a job anywhere from, I'd say, 3 months to 6 months at a time. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't always work out. I don't think it's ever worked out for us, actually, where we could have attended.
So it's always worked out where we go to the RV shows, though. And then the kids can see, like, they've met a lot of RVers, though, because just so happens people are passing through and like, hey, I saw you were in Connecticut over by the aquarium. We live 40 minutes from there. Can we meet up? So stuff like that. I'm very vigilant on paying attention to where people are and where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. She's stalking y'all, so be careful.
I do. I stalk y'all, especially if we've talked and we want to be friends. I'm stalking people in the best way because I want in real life connections. I love hanging out. I love hanging out by the fire, playing card games.
Charcuterie boards.
I love charcuterie boards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, charcuterie boards and different wine taste testings. It's fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, you have found a sense of community. Yeah. Then you have it. Everyone's going to have their certain group of friends, right? It doesn't matter. Like you could not like this person. That's just. You can't expect everybody to like you or vice versa, right? It's just how it's going to be. But the fact that you don't, this is like most of the people that I've talked to have done a lot of the rallies. So this is interesting. This is a different type of full-time living that you guys are doing versus a lot of the other people. So it's an interesting take. You guys are like you said, 3 to 6 months at a time. That could be 2 to 3 places a year.
And
so you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm here. We just got to figure out what we can do around this 2-hour space or 2-hour bubble. And so, it's just a different way of going about full-time RV life.
Yep. We're just 9-to-5ers in a camper and we move a couple times a year. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So moving on from that, how about advice for beginners? Now, you guys kind of did the baptism by fire state, and that's okay. That's a good way to go about it. That's a good way to go about life in a lot of things. This is just a bigger financial decision to be baptized by fire. So, what advice would you give someone who's on the fence about transitioning to full-time RV life? And I guess, are there any misconceptions about full-time or about living in an RV that you would like to address?
Yeah, we are. A lot of us, everyone I know is not rich. We just kind of put I know we travel differently, but still, like, he could have said no to the nuclear life if we didn't want to be nomads. But you just kind of put what you want versus what people in your circle will think. More importantly, like, we wanted to go off and explore. So that was what was important to us, and that's what we buckled down on. So I guess, honestly, I know this is a weird lifestyle, and a lot of people are closed-minded and don't get it. But if you're passionate about this, it doesn't matter what your mom or mother-in-law, we didn't have any issues. Let me just be clear with that. Our family was pretty supportive. But I'm just saying, I hear a lot of this. Siblings, friends have things to say. I'm trying to be really careful with my words. It doesn't matter. It's not their life. They're not paying your bills. So if you can afford it, go do it. And here's another thing. Like, if you can't afford it, don't sell your house, buy this RV, and then just get on the road and think you're going to figure out content creation and making money, because it is hard to get paid deals and it is hard to stay. I've been in my account every single day for the past 2 years. And like, I'm just now, after a year and a half, coming up on 2 years, just now bringing in good enough that if he were to get laid off, I can't even pay all the bills, but like, we're going to be fed, and we're going to have a roof over our head. So if you don't have a game plan, if you're not already making the money now, how you would be making it on the road, don't start yet. Figure out how you're going to be making money and then start. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Financial plan.
Yeah, don't just sell everything, hop on the road and think you're going to figure it out, because you're going to find yourself work camping and being more stationary to try to make money working than you are exploring. And that's the whole reason you wanted to do this.
Yeah, your situation was a little different with your nomadic nuclear lifestyle, right? So like, you had to nuclear nomads is great. I love how you came up with that name. But you had a set, I guess, position in place to where like you're going to be bringing in money because of traveling. Yeah. You're like, the travel to bring in the money, so that makes sense. The figuring out the socials thing. It's my job and it's tough. It's not. I get paid a salary to do this, and not everybody does, especially for like yourself, Andy. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to do the UGC stuff or building whatever for this company, selling this product for this company. That's not easy to do. Not only that, it's not easy to be the, I guess, partner of that company. It's just a lot of work, and there's more to it than most people think. They're like, oh, I can just make videos. No, it's not that simple. Yeah. I have friends. And it takes a ton of time,
especially trying to be a mother first and foremost.
That comes first. I'll stay up. I'm not being dramatic till 2-3 o'clock in the morning trying to do my voiceovers and get edits done, because like, I am a mom first, and that's not ever going to change. So the reason why I said what I said is because I've seen firsthand friends who sold it all and, are now like scrambling, taking courses, trying to figure it out, like low on cash. And it's just like, gosh, I feel bad for them. So that's why I say, like, figure out how you're going to make money before you just sell everything and hop on the road. So,
yeah. Put that, at least if there's any planning done at all, at least plan.
Yeah, figure out how you're going to be bringing your income and go ahead and establish it. Don't think you're going to do it and then get on the road.
Yeah, my job pays a per diem too, so it's tax-free money that's given, for housing and lodging. So that's what's making this possible.
Yeah, just hourly.
Perfect. It was kind of the stars aligned for you guys a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. 100%. We're so thankful. The lot we're on right now, I don't know if you can see or not, but that's the Indian River estuary. And we would not be able to afford this lot if it wasn't for his per diem.
We probably shouldn't be affording it now, to be honest with you. But
yeah.
You could be cashing out some of that per diem.
Yeah. Per diem is only paying for half of it. This is the first time we've ever this is where we're not responsible. Like, we want good fun views. Like, I am a paddle boarder through and through. I'm going to be on that water every day when it gets warm.
And fishing too. So it's going to save us some money. So we paid more for a lot, but we can fish right off the back of our camper. They can paddle board. So that's time we're not spending in gas traveling to go paddle boarding somewhere else or going fishing. And then also our next lot we go to when we leave here in 6 months, it's a third or maybe even a quarter of the price of this lot here. So we're gonna catch back up on the next lot.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you got to splurge a little bit. I mean, it's not a vacation. That's a lot of people like. Well, if you're choosing this nomad life and are full-time RV, it is not a vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you have to live within your means still, right? It's I mean, it'd be hard not to because you're in cool places, new places, and I love food. Like you, Andy. I love going to new places for food. Like I went to the Waffle House the other day in Tampa. Never been. Fantastic. It's cheap. It's very cheap. But I was like, that's wonderful. Why do we go anywhere else?
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. But seafood, seafood. I love seafood. We went to the Salt Shack, I think it was called, down in Tampa as well. That was very nice. I don't even remember. I had swordfish, which was fantastic.
Do you remember you had swordfish in New York?
It was very good.
Yeah, it's like a steak of the sea. It's very tasty. But yeah, live within your means. Have an actual financial plan in place. Actually, hey, we're gonna have X amount of money coming in. You got to kind of balance that out. It is a balance, right? Don't live on vacation. Don't go out to eat all the time. Walmart Plus membership or whatever.
Yeah,
that
Walmart
is.
Plus.
Is that a membership you have to pay? Yep.
Hey, speaking of which, if you have Straight Talk, there's
our cell phone service is through Walmart. It's called Straight Talk. We pay $65. You can't pay $55, but for the internet, we pay $65 a month each
per phone. Yeah.
Per phone. And then I just learned this. I've been doing, since I was pregnant. So since 2020, I've been doing Walmart Plus, but I just found out that you get it free with your Straight Talk membership. So if you have Straight Talk, you have Walmart Plus. Just play around in the app and it's easy to figure out. Yeah, so $104 a year for Walmart Plus, so I went in the system and it lets you, like, if you have a membership, it'll refund you if you've already paid for the year. Like first week in January we paid $104 for our membership, but they refunded it because I signed up my Straight Talk. So little tips like that. Another thing, like since he goes to the gym a lot. Here, this is something I wanted to talk about too. Do you have a second?
Absolutely. I got all the seconds.
So as a full-time stay-at-home mom, it gets kind of like crazy during the week. So I like to find YMCAs that have childcare. So I can work out, the kids can go to childcare for 2 hours. And that we've been using that, since we really started. And that is amazing. So like if you do travel and you are a mama or a parent, however this works, if you need to exercise and get some mental clarity, YMCAs will watch your kids for 2 hours, and they're all like CPR. They have to go through a background check. They're vetted. They can't hire people off the road. And then he does Planet Fitnesses because sometimes the YMCAs aren't on the way to work. And then if you get on your Planet Fitness app, we've saved a lot of money by different offers,
discounts.
We save a lot of money that way too. So this kind of goes back into budgeting and stuff. We save money where we can, and we try to, like, I'm not a couponer, but I do try to figure out what apps I have that offer deals. Like PayPal, if you get on PayPal, you can save so much money if you use your PayPal card, which PayPal will send you a debit card for free in the mail. And so when you swipe that at Costco, you might get some money back per dollar or whatever. So that's another way we budget. We know what apps we have and we know what benefits goes with those apps.
And Planet Fitness is like $12 a month.
For like it can be. Yeah, $25, I think, if you get the Black Card membership, which allows you to do a couple extra things.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere, so that's why I have a membership with them. And they're a lot of times open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can get in at,
makes sense.
Say 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the YMCA, do you have a membership for that, or just show up when you can?
I have a membership for that. Now, you can show up when you can, and you can pay per time. I don't know how much that is because I just keep a membership. And if I'm in a place long enough, I have to transfer that membership, but it doesn't cost extra. You don't have to pay for the sign-up fee. If you're in good financial standings with the place you left, you can just basically get one of their cards. And it's, for me and the kids, it's typically anywhere from $60 to $72 a month, depending on the location. We're in a more expensive area right now, so it's going to be on the higher end, $72 a month. But where we just came from in Wilson, North Carolina, it was $72 for our whole family. But now we're kicking Joey off since he's not going to go anyway. I can bring him 6 times for free with my Y membership. So we just we're a little bit smarter with money than we let on to believe. I just remembered all these apps and how we do save money where we can. Like if we're already going to go to Costco, let me see if this month PayPal has the special going on where if I use my PayPal card, it saves us money. And so we do stuff like that. We're better than we thought. I'm just kidding.
They still want advice.
Yeah.
Give them some more advice. You sound like you're doing just fine.
Well, no, okay. So here's honestly,
you're doing more than I do.
if you're a real estate guru and you want to mentor somebody,
That's us.
we'll take a mentor. That's what we need. Yeah.
Awesome. So you've been on your travels for about 7 years with the I guess nuclear running around for your job, Joey. But what are some of your favorite places you experienced, right? So you've been around, right? You said Nebraska is pretty cool. So kudos to my home state. What are some unexpected benefits? Maybe some favorite things you've been around, unexpected benefits like with your family or yourselves. Just kind of dive into those a little bit if you wouldn't mind.
I would say favorite place we're here in Florida.
Yeah, we're on the Treasure Coast in Florida. We came here in 2019, and this is one of our favorite places. So something surprising, though, that a lot of people don't really think about is there's not much to do in this state, but anyone you meet, you're going to be greeted as if you're their best friends. As Iowa. We really we were in somebody's yard. There's 10 other campers, and they're all workers. There was a little dinghy swing set, and we were there for almost a year. So
11 months, yeah.
Thank God for the YMCA and for nice people, because otherwise we would have went crazy. But Iowa nice is a real thing too. So, that surprised us that we liked Iowa.
The Midwest, I'm telling you, we're pretty friendly.
They are. Got a lot of kids and nice personalities.
Yeah, and we drink beer. We're pretty good at
that. I think that's probably where we started drinking beer a lot.
Well, we put a lot of beer down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And they keep coming too. They stay cold.
They do.
Yeah. Bury them in the snow and just walk outside if your power goes out because of an ice storm.
Absolutely. Been there, done that, had that. Been accused of it too and denied it all, but whatever. Anyway, any unexpected benefits though with traveling full time?
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, I might get hate for this, but COVID did us a solid as a family. We were going and doing a lot, and then now we're all of a sudden following the rules and locked in, and we only can go hiking and stuff. So I feel like that's where we started hiking more and doing a lot of family game nights and stuff. So that was also just not even a year after we got into RV life. So because people started getting sick really in December of 2018, 2019. And then in early 2020, they started realizing, hey, this is a thing. So we came together closer as a family. Now that we're in the RV life, I feel like it acclimated us better to be in a closer proximity. Because I want to tell somebody else this too. If you're thinking about RV life, this is my personal experience, and I love you to death, but those first 6 months in a tiny box is hard because you might leave that cabinet door open and it's going to piss your partner off, stuff like that, or the bowls. If you move the bowls where you had them and you felt like it worked good, but they did better across the kitchen. So it takes a good while to really figure out your flow, but once you get there, it's man, this is really nice. And then when you get back in, for us, when we go home, when we're on layoffs and stuff, and Zoe, she has her own room, and Andre has his whole toys and stuff, and it's gosh, it's quiet in here. Where is everybody? Yeah. So in here you have to be on top of each other. So I like being in the camper. Now I will say though, we're going through this phase with our 3-year-old where that mouth just goes and goes and goes. So when he goes and plays in his room, we're okay, I can hear you talk now. What were you saying?
Yeah, there's little time for us to conversate anymore.
Yeah. So that's the one downfall of being so close together in, a close proximity is when you've got all the kids wanting to talk at the same time. But
I think an unexpected benefit of a camper life is it gets us outside more.
Yeah. So,
we are in small quarters a lot of times. So one of the first things we do when we wake up is get outside, stretch, go for a walk. In the evenings, spend time by a campfire.
Yeah.
So it gets us out a lot more, I believe. Gets us a lot more active.
Yeah, in our communities too, like different, the library, different, what do you call it? Festivals, like little festivals we probably wouldn't have went to in our hometown if they had like whatever little festival or farmer's market. But when we're in new areas, we're like, let's go see what these people are about. So
Yeah.
we dive into different communities, and I wasn't expecting to fall in love with different communities. I knew I'd like love the beach, but who doesn't love the beach? But I'm talking about like going to the Fort Pierce Farmers Market on Saturday morning. Like, I can't wait to do that again. That's where we're at down the road.
Or county fairs. You ever been to county fair in the middle of America?
We did one in Nebraska, and Thomas Rhett was singing there, and it was like in the next county over further west in.
Yeah, it was in starts with an A. Not right next to Fremont, between Fremont and Blair. Where is it at? What's it called? Not Atchison.
But they had this.
I know exactly what you're talking about because
This is where we get our daughter in here. She can probably tell us.
Arlington.
Was it Arlington?
That sounds familiar.
Arlington?
Yeah. So it sounds familiar.
Had to be Arlington.
The fairground, they had like this. You know how every little town you go to, they have this quirky thing, like. They're fiberglass creatures, and sometimes they're a bass fish or a corn cob in Iowa, or like a cow. This place had the cows, like they're really painted pretty, and you can see them on all the corners and stuff. Anyway, that was the first time we had ever seen one. I thought it was the coolest thing. So we have a picture of she was the only child back then, our daughter on one at that county fair. So yeah, we like state fairs. We were doing every single state fair there for a while that we could. And his work schedule kind of threw us off where we haven't been to one lately, but the Florida State Fair is coming up next month.
Oh, nice.
In Tampa. Yeah, we'll have to go to that.
That'd be a good one. That's exactly where I just was, at the state fairgrounds. It's so big. It was so big. I literally, it was gone for like, I was passing out koozies to all the bar stands because no one was doing it. I literally show up every day. They'd be like, oh my God, yes. They'd be all excited. And I got lost one day. Literally got lost looking for one bar. I had to hop on it because they have golf carts going out everywhere. I felt kind of bad because I wasn't the one that needed a golf cart by no means, but I was like, I can't find home. I was like, can you get me back?
Oh my God, that's funny.
Way deep in the RVs. I had no idea how to get back because it was like it's like a U shape, so like I had to get back, and it was a mess.
Yeah.
But very cool, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I was working with Campground Views as a contractor last year for the Tampa show. And if you haven't seen their 3D virtual tours, they're pretty cool. Have you heard of Campground Views? So
nope.
I hopped on this little, they rented it for me, a little, those scoot-arounds that the elderly use if they can't walk or if they have a broken leg. Mounted my GoPro up there and drove around the whole thing and got like a 360 tour of the whole RV show. And I felt so bad. Like, I felt like a lot of people were thinking shame on me or whatever. I was just tooting my little horn so my video didn't mess up, like shooing people out of the way.
Because you got to maintain a certain speed.
You have to maintain a certain speed. You have to stay in the middle of the road. Like, there's a lot of variables that go along with getting a 360 tour for Campground Views. But I was so nervous I was going to get lost because I had studied that map because there was a certain route you needed to take, and there was just so many roads, and I know exactly how you feel because it was very overwhelming, and I had to do it like 3 times before I got it right. So I know what you're saying.
It was just too much. But again, back to the favorite experience of benefits, the unexpected benefits. You guys, the Nomad Nester, so different, Katie and Vern, I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they talked about, it's going to amplify either your problems or your love for each other, right? So because you're in a tinier space, whatever it is, good or bad, it's going to amplify it. So because you're on top of it, you have to you can't run away, can't dodge it. It's just there, right? So you had to kind of head on those problems or those issues together, and being in that space, I think that's very, at least powerful to say, it's either ruined or made relationships. So I've heard from several people that known other people. But do you feel like that's something that's brought you tighter together in the last 7 years?
I feel like I've always been very obsessed with my husband, and but as far as communication, as far as learning how to say, and just talking through stuff instead of me just being like, why is this right here? Be like, oh, I had this over here. I don't know. It's just the communication is much better. And I mean, after those first 6 months, it's just gets better and better. Yeah, I would agree with her. And thank God for us. It was the better half of what Katie said.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it happening. I could see it ruining things, but
I don't know when
anyway, so
that has had that happen.
Go ahead.
I've not heard that, and I hope it's not frequent, because like it is a beautiful thing if you can really like get your communication skills together. It is a beautiful life. It's not for everybody, especially if you can't let little things go, like with the breaking of the camper, or like where stuff in the kitchen goes. You have to be able to be very fluid. But I like what she said. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, got to roll with the punches a little bit. So anyway, future plans. You guys kind of roll kind of where you go, right?
Yeah.
What do you see like as a future plans or goals with your RV journey? Do you see that? I mean, if that were to stop, would you stop? If the nuclear thing would stop, would you stop at full-time RVing, or would you try to figure out another way?
I would say if the nuclear dried up tomorrow, we would have to stop. I don't think we're in a position right now where we could continue. What is it?
I'm gonna kill you.
I don't think we could afford to start.
No.
I would figure it out. I don't know. Maybe I would go sell shells on the seashore or something, because I
might go from camper life to tent life.
We might work at state parks. Okay, South Dakota. I'm looking at you if this happens. So here we kind of just fly by the seat of our pants in that way. But so with us renting our house out now and using that, because the house is paid off, so using that money that comes in to save for a next property, hopefully we can do this trickle down effect and then have quite a few, whatever God wants us to do, but have a means of not having to like go into a work and like really let the houses pay our bills. Hopefully he'll be in this for the long run until he retires, because I really like.
Yeah, nuclear is not going anywhere no time soon.
Yeah.
So,
but it's really easy to, if you make a mistake, it's really easy to get like your quals pulled and not be invited back into a nuclear power plant. So he's a good worker. He's really safe and everything from what he says and his coworkers say. So hopefully everything will work good, because I like how this works. We travel slowly and it's really nice, and we're not having to figure out, all right, I need to work here and line up different jobs. It's a beautiful life, and we feel immensely blessed. Like
100%.
It's awesome. So I hope it stays around.
Most definitely. It seems like, a lot of people don't ever leave their home city or home county, let alone their home state, right? I mean, a lot of people, I know several people from my home area that have never even gone anywhere.
You're right. And that probably would have been me had I not met her.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. So she's she's more the wanderlust, and you're just it just happened to be your job became.
Yeah, opportunity. She pushed me towards it too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Once he came home and found out about it and was telling me about it, I was like, yeah, you have to do it. I am down. I was working at the hospital at the time. His first job in New Hampshire, I was ER tech and working in the hospital. So I stayed, finished working, and he was like, I really like this. I think we can do this. So I was like, 2-week notice, I'm out. But, something we didn't talk about, we did get off the road for 2.5, 3 years, because when we had our daughter, we thought, and I'm not talking ugly about any of our families, and we know just this is the way the cookie crumbles, kind of out of sight, out of mind. It really is a thing. So when we came back home, we just were thinking we would have more family time, things would fall into place, but people, are working, they have their schedules. So after 3 years of just like, I'm working now, I went and started as a dental assistant. He's back in the shop welding, and then we're
living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, I was like, let's just get back on the road. For 3 years, I begged him to get back on the road, and finally he bit into it. So
I was trying different avenues within the company I was at, trying to get in a better position, and it just wasn't what we had on the road.
Yeah, small town, small minds is kind of what plays in for some people, not everybody. So I was going to say something and I forgot. Oh, well. Anyway.
But she was also going to work just to pay for groceries and to send our baby to a daycare, basically. Yeah. So that didn't make a whole lot of sense to us either.
Yeah, no.
expensive. Goodness gracious. It's another rent payment, you know,
Yeah, what would you
like my buddy's kid, he's like his first, I think they pay $1,400 a month.
Yeah.
Just for daycare. I'm like, sheesh.
yeah, 900?
Yeah, 10 years ago, we were paying $900. And that's because we're really peculiar about, like I said, education. Even when we came home, we were peculiar about what she ate and everything. And so the daycare we were at, they were just fresh and frozen foods only, nothing canned, nothing processed. And so that was a big pillar in getting back on the road too, so I could be home with the kids and not have to stress about where their education is coming from.
Most definitely. It's a you know, you do what you want to do for your family, right? And if you feel like that's the way to do it, no one should judge you for that, right? So I commend you for that, because that's hard to do, you know, because other people, I mean, people do judge, and people do vocally judge too, and it's like, you know, it's not really your business.
That's right.
But
it's your life, and you got to do it for yourself.
Absolutely. It's your life. How are you going to live it? You know?
Not everyone is built to homeschool. I have family members who wanted to try it. Before the kids even got into school, they're like, actually, this isn't for me. I need to tap out. And kudos to them, because like, if you know you're not built to teach your children, then they do need to go to school, and it's something that's better than nothing. So it's what works for everybody. And from us anyway, I don't care what you do with your kids. I just know what I'm going to do with mine, and I'm still going to be your friend. We don't have any homeschool people back home, and I don't care. Like, I love them. I love my friends and my sisters and my brothers. Like, do whatever you want with your kids. I'm not going to judge you. It's not my business. So.
Absolutely. So you've been on the road for quite some time, right? And you live a little bit differently, as in like 3 to 6 months at a time for the most part, what it sounds like. Is there any gadgets or RV gizmos that you're like, I can't live without these things?
Yeah. That would be our RO water filter. Reverse osmosis water filter would be mine, and a water softener.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So we have a in-house, but under the sink water filter system. And then,
our solar generator.
Oh yeah. We have a 0.0 energy battery portable power bank. That's good. It's not gas, and it's not diesel or whatever. Like, I can charge our generator with the sun, or I can plug it into our rig and charge it. It's very versatile. Another thing is we have a Rec Pro AC heat pump, and that saved us when our furnace went out. It says it doesn't work under 30. It'll go through the defrost, but it kept us warm in New Jersey. But in the summertime, it's going to keep us cool. So we removed our max air fan and put in that unit, and that is our most used gadget. I love that thing. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
A stick vacuum, like, you don't need to bring the heavy duty, just a little stick vacuum. That's all you need in here.
Yeah, I would say our RO system is probably the one thing that I couldn't go without.
Yeah, we were doing, like, in the first camper for a couple of months, we were buying cases and cases of water, but it's heavy. It takes up space. It's plastic waste. You're dealing with microplastics in your blood system. So we had to take our trash can out of the space where our RO is, and now we put it out, like, next to the island, and that's it. That's all. It just takes up a little bit of space. What did we say? 18 by 18 by 20?
Yep.
So anyway, we're really big on clean water.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I believe in the microplastics to be a real issue. It's started kind of proving so. Let alone our food system. We don't need to talk about it though. Yeah, I get fired up about all of it. I'm very, very clean eater as much as possible, you know. But you can only do so much, unfortunately. Reverse osmosis.
I feel like a lot of RVers have a similar mindset when it comes to diet and the way of life and being active. I feel like it's a whole industry thing. Even though we all have different beliefs, we voted differently, we believe differently. One thing we want is a little bit of freedom to run and be with our own families and be left alone. So,
yeah, most definitely. Last question. I think you've answered this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your day, because I know you guys got other things to do. So I really appreciate you guys being here. It sounds like you've answered this a little bit at times or kind of went around it, but I really want to know, like, why? So, like, it sounds like it's more Andy's idea, at least at first, but the idea of the nuclear going, jumping around. It seems like it's a better way of life for you guys in general. But really, what's your why? Why do you stay on the road? Why don't you just do the Airbnb thing? Why are you in the RV?
We're in the RV so we can be together as a family every night, knowing we're clean and safe. It's like I could stay at home and I could go to work, or I could not. I could be at home, not traveling, not carrying the kids across the country. But our why is we want to be together as a family every night. If he was, this is personal preference, because there are people who do this, and this is not what I'm saying. But for us personally, why are we going to be married if he's going to go off and do these jobs and I'm sitting at home? So our why is so we can be together every night.
Was that your question? Or was it more specifically, why are we in a camper and not living our 9-to-5 back home?
Well, it's like, why are you on the road?
Oh, okay.
For one. So why do you, she nailed it on the head there, but like, you could be doing the Airbnb, and now you decided you're going to do the RV, versus that. I understand you just want to be in the same place all the time. You could do that in Airbnb. So I guess why RV?
So our kids can feel like they have a home. That's right. On the road. And we want to travel because we want to show them the country too. Like, he could get an in-house job at a nuclear power plant and make pretty decent money, but now our kids are
confined back to,
and that's okay if that's what you want. But now we've gotten a taste of this travel bug, and I want to be invested.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Pretty good. So yeah, that's why we want to travel, and his career is allowing us to travel while staying together as a family. That's our why.
Yeah, we can settle down once we get old, but we're young now, so we might as well stretch our legs and our wings while we can.
I don't want to settle down, ever.
Yeah, and that may be the case.
When we're empty nesters, we'll have a souped-up Class B, and we'll just be out west, BLM it up.
There you go.
I have spoken.
Yeah, you know what you signed up for, man. She is not letting it go.
I'm good with it, 18 years
awesome.
Yeah. We've been together since I was 17. I'm 34 now, so.
Well, good on you. That's a half a lifetime ago. That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Not everybody can say the same, right? I've had friends go through some stuff already, and I've had you hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
It's tough. Doesn't matter who you're with. You got to make it work. So. Kudos to you guys for making it work. You got 2 kiddos and a puppo. You got a pupper. We didn't even talk about the dog. What do you got for a dog?
A golden doodle.
Dale. He's a fluffy rug, just a mess. So to get a little personal, we were trying to for a while to have our second. We weren't succeeding, so we got Dale, and then we got pregnant.
Hey, Dale.
So this is Dale. He's been with us since 2019 too. Yeah, and he's just
Dale Earnhardt.
No, so he already had the name Dale, and Joey felt bad renaming him, but me and Zoe wanted to name him cute, like Sunny or Rex or something cute, and he's like, no, he already has a name. That's not right, man. So he won.
Dale.
Yeah, Dale. So I don't know if you watched The Ranch with Ashton Kutcher. The veterinarian was Dale, and that was about the time we got him. So I would always just say, Dale.
Old man Dale, you're talking about?
Old man Dale.
Old man Dale, yeah. Did he die in that show?
I don't remember, honestly.
He had a heart attack or something, I thought, though. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. I haven't watched it for some time. It got too predictable for me by like season 3 or whatever. I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen.
We used to watch a lot of TV, and that's what would happen with us. The Walking Dead, Mandalorian. Those, like, after The Mandalorian, I think we kind of quit watching shows because it was all like, we know what's coming next. And now, so anyway.
Rise, fall. But anyway, guys, before we close out here, thank you again for being here. I know it's not normal. It's out of your time of the day. So I really appreciate taking time out of your day to meet with me and share your story, because it's very cool. You guys have a different lifestyle than most people because you're traveling 3 to 6 months at a time, not every month or 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Some people just jump around all the time. It's like, I'm going to make this road trip and come back down. No, you might later though. So we maybe have to, touch base again. But anyway, is there anything else you'd like to share before we kind of close up here?
No, I just want to say thank you for having us. This was awesome. It wasn't a time out of we're happy to do it. So I guess I actually do have something to say. If you're really considering this and it's in your heart to do it, and if you've got your finances right, just hop in and do it, because if you wait until everything is all planned out perfectly, it's not going to happen. You just have to get messy with it if you can afford it. Like, I'm not that bad of an influence, but if it's something like you don't have to sell everything and you want to try, even if it's just for a year, even if your family's going against it, just, you have to listen to your heart with stuff like this. Or, you know, it's better to say, man, I can't believe I did that, instead of like, I really should have done that. So that's my close on that one. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah.
So.
Can I hold a show?
What is it?
What is it?
Do it.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
I write notes. I'm writing notes the whole time, taking notes. That's why, like, when I go back and forth, I'm not ignoring you. I swear. You can't see my screen, but it makes my life editing wise so much easier. But again, Andy, Joey, and Dale, because I got to meet Dale. Thank you guys so much for your time. It's very interesting to hear your story, and I wish you best of luck in your content creation journey. Sounds like you're doing all right. 2 years, almost 9,000 followers on your IG. You can follow them here. Give them advice about budgeting right there. Go there and say hi. She was shy to get on today, she told me, but she did great. You did great, and so did you, Joe. Joey. You guys did great. It was a good time.
Thank you for having us.
I wish we were. Yeah, absolutely. I wish we were kind of, having beers around a fire.
Oh yeah, one day.
Yeah.
We'll come back. We'll come back and do it again, hopefully.
For sure.
Follow them on Instagram. Help them build. It's you guys do a great job at creating and having it shows you all your life and stuff like that. So that's awesome. Check out their links. I'm guessing you have some stuff that you're promoting in there.
Yes, you do.
Yes. There's a lot of promotions in there. So please.
Please check them out and use the promo codes, because she gets kickback for that. And we all love to support each other.
Yes,
So
thank you.
if you guys haven't heard from us, the RV Voice, give us a follow, and on the YouTube, and we're also on all podcast platforms. And we'd really appreciate you guys checking us out. And RV Fix discount, 60% off, $199 a year. That locks in your price for years to come, and you can use it as much as you want. So that being said, Joey and Andy, thank you again so much for being here. And everybody out there, stay tuned for more from the RV Voice.
Bye. Thank you.